Welcome back to the PAC Sports Network for our halftime show. We're at the break between Westminster and W&J, and we're now joined by the head coach for W&J men's basketball, Coach Ethan Stewart Smith. Coach, first off, thanks so much for joining us today. Want to get into how things have been recently for your team. How have things been going back to the start of the year, but also most recently for the group?
Yeah, no, it's been a solid start to the year for sure. Like most teams, just kind of going through, getting back in the flow of things with the start of the year. We were fortunate to return a lot of our rotation from last year, but again, still just looking for kind of consistent production and effort every night that we step out on the floor, right? So again, that's been kind of what we've been gearing up for as we enter the latter part of the year with all conference play to go. But have been proud of again some of the early season success, and now again as we look forward, just being a little bit more consistent with execution and preparation again as we get to the latter part of the year with a veteran group.
We'll certainly discuss the veteran group that you have, but I want to go back to some of the key non-conference wins you guys had. A big top 25 win against Maryville, a 1 point win against a really good Case Western Reserve team. What did those wins, especially early in the season, kind of show this team what it's capable of accomplishing this season?
Yeah, I think it definitely kind of gave us a little bit of a glimpse into our ceiling, right? Again, those are two really good programs, two really good wins, especially the Maryville win when we were able to host such a great event in the Great Lakes Invitational. So it was really, really cool to have those types of programs in our gym for 2 nights, and then for our team to kind of show what we're capable of was again, it was just really rewarding, I think, for our team to go out there and compete at the level that we did. And again, that's got to be something that's consistent with this group. We got to kind of enter every game with that same mindset to compete at the highest level possible, right? Again, we set our standards against ourselves, not necessarily our opponents. So that's kind of been our charge with our group. Again, as we enter the home stretch of this year, we need that type of intensity in our preparation for every single game, not just for top 25 opponents.
Well, I want to get into this group because, like we've mentioned, a really experienced team. I feel like Nathan Plotner and Alex Acosta just anchor the team so well down in the paint. What is your offense capable of accomplishing when those two are in sync and just working so well together down low?
Yeah, it just really opens up the perimeter play for our guys that are on the perimeter. Again, they're two guys that together are getting close to 30 a game. They're super efficient, both in the high 50s from a percent standpoint. So it really just forces teams to make a decision. Do we guard them one-on-one and know that they're probably going to get an efficient look and can get us 15 to 20 each on any given night? Or do they maybe start to double down, and then that opens up some opportunities to get to some scrambles with our perimeter play? But they definitely get us going on both sides of the ball. Again, Plotner with his defensive presence, both in the full court and the half court with rim protection, and then Acosta kind of anchoring the back end of our pressure, being more of a rim protector and rebounder. They're critical to our success. And when those guys play well, we're really good as a team. And again, it opens up other guys to do what they're good at. And when they've struggled, we've struggled as a team. So again, that's another thing we just got to keep going to as the season goes on, and making sure that we're playing through those guys to generate again just easy offense for our group.
I'm sure Matthew Cart and Quentin Berlinski have really enjoyed playing with those two, but I'm more curious about how those two have kind of started to mesh together. It feels like obviously Quentin's been in the starting lineup quite some time. Matthew kind of has come along into the starting lineup. How have you noticed those two, especially this season, complement each other and start to really play off of one another on the floor?
Yeah, definitely. That's important. And again, when we think about building our roster and kind of what we do, we want to make sure that we have really complementary pieces, and just their ability to take over a game, especially when we kind of need a bucket. They've shown at different times throughout the year, they've each single-handedly won us some games, right? So just their ability to kind of show up when the lights come on is really important. And then again, having other guards out there that can stretch the floor for each other just creates a little bit more driving space and one-on-one opportunities for guys. And again, it all comes down to defenses having to make decisions, right? Do we help on a drive, which means you may give up a kick out opportunity to a good shooter, or do you stay at home on the shooter? and that means you're going to give up some one-on-one opportunities on the drive. So again, just really down the stretch, trying to get to the point where we're really playing complementary basketball. We feel like we've got five guys out there at a time that can make a play in some capacity. So just really unselfishness and making the right play every time down the floor. If a teammate's open, we want to hit them. That's going to create a scramble opportunity and allow your teammate to do something that they're good at.
I feel Matt Seidel has really been a calming leader, a calming presence for this team, and he's just the epitome of steady Eddie, if you will, just always so consistent. How have you seen him, though, this year kind of take guys maybe under his wing, show them how things go that maybe are a little bit newer to the program, and trying to build out that culture even further with, let's face it, his time wrapping up at W&J?
Yeah, definitely. And that's been the story of his career, man. From day one, he's just come in and impacted us with winning plays, right? So he does a little bit of everything. His impact definitely does not all show up just on the stat sheet. Again, he just shows up every day in practice and works. And again, with his effort, he's a lead by example type guy. He just always, again, wants to do the things that impact winning. And especially, this year he's really picked it up from a rebounding standpoint, right? So I think when we think about his career and the 4 years that he's been here, it's kind of morphed on a yearly basis. And we've seen growth in a lot of different areas. So just his ability to impact the game on every phase is something that has been really rewarding to see, and something that I think our younger guys, as they think about replacing him next year, are going to have an idea of what they're going to need to improve on, because you just can't replace a guy like that. But we're certainly going to need some improvement in some areas once he wraps up his career here, hopefully in the next month and a half.
Well, Coach, it's always a pleasure to chat President's basketball with you. And before we let you run, I want to hear from you what you feel it's going to take this team to get back to a PAC championship and ultimately capture one. What do you think can be that key that can carry your team to the mountaintop and eventually be the last team standing?
Yeah, I think it's definitely just a mentality thing. We've just got to really have a tough kind of edge with the way that we approach practice and preparation. And league is wide open this year. There's again, any given night, anybody can beat anybody. I think there's probably 8 teams are going to make the conference tournament, and I think any 8 of those teams could hang a banner at the end of the year. So it just goes back to us just making sure that we're the best versions of ourselves and peaking in February. And if we can do that, again, we feel like we're really going to put ourselves in a good position to accomplish the goals that we talked about early in the season. But it's going to take consistent effort and preparation and then execution on a nightly basis if we're going to do that. And that's where, again, having a veteran group of guys that have been through it before, one of our strengths should be preparation and execution, right? So that's something that we got to continue to improve on and really hone in on. It's just going to come down to a collection of details, right? And that's going to kind of decide and determine the fate of our season. And again, with a veteran group, I think we're going to be ready to go.
Coach, as always, really appreciate your time today, and a pleasure to speak about basketball and W&J hoops with you as well. Thanks so much for stopping by, and good luck the rest of the season.
I appreciate it. Thanks so much, Jack. Appreciate all you guys do for our league.
That's W&J head men's basketball coach Ethan Stewart Smith. Stay right there. W&J's Nathan Plotner will join us next on the Halftime Show on the PAC Sports Network.